Hi there, Jean Greer here at Stylish Fireplaces. Today I want to compare for you the smallest of the Revillusion inserts, the RBF24, with the RBF30 and all of the larger sizes of the Revillusion insert. So Revillusion is from Dimplex and it comes in sizes 24, 30, 36, 36P for portrait, and 42. But there are some key differences between the smallest and all of the other sizes. First of all, you'll notice we have a trim kit on our RBF24. There are two trim kits available, two different sizes, because it is expected that the RBF24 could be used in retrofit situations where I've got an existing opening and I need an insert to fit into that opening to convert it to electric, and then I'm going to have a gap that's going to require some trim. RBF30 also has trim options, but none of the larger sizes have trim options because we don't expect them to be used in that way in an existing opening. Most of those openings would be too small for anything larger than the 30 to fit into it. So these two have trim in common, but none of the other sizes have trim available. All sizes give you the option for the brick or the weathered concrete, so you decide which you prefer. You can't change it after the fact, so you've got to decide up front. And all sizes come with the lighted logs, but you have the option for birch logs or fresh cut logs, which wouldn't light up, but could replace the lighted logs, and you would then own two sets of logs. That is applicable to all sizes. One of the things you'll notice here is the difference on the front of the unit. So RBF24 comes standard with a piece of glass on the front, just a plain piece of glass that you see here. That would be the norm for most electric inserts. RBF30 and all of the larger sizes come with no glass, no doors. So they're open on the front, and you then choose the door option, the double door, or a fixed glass like we have on our 24. None of those glass come with the larger sizes. The RBF24 is the only size in the Revillusion series that comes with glass, and there is no double door option here. So if you love the doors, it's not something you can have on a 24. You would have to go into one of the larger sizes. There's also some interesting differences in terms of the electrical and the heat output. So all of the other sizes, 30, 36, 36P, and 42, are dual voltage. I could connect to 120 volts or 240 volts. If I want more heat than 5,000 BTUs, I would connect to 240 volts, and then I would have more power for the heater, which is going to heat up maybe up to 800 square feet, or it's going to heat up a smaller space more quickly. With the RBF24, it is not dual voltage. It is 120 volts only. So I cannot have the option to connect an RBF24 to 240 volts. So the heater is going to max out at 5,000 BTUs. But one of the things that Dimplex has done is they've added the Eco Boost function to the RBF24. So that allows me to have the Eco feature, which is on other Dimplex products. Eco pulls the fan speed back and doesn't allow it to go above a certain level. So that's meant to conserve energy. And the boost feature puts the fan and the heater at maximum so that I can get more heat more quickly if I walk into a very cold room. So those functions are available on an RBF24, but they don't show up on any of the larger sizes of the Revillusion. Here, if I want more heat, I just connect to 240 volts instead of 120 volts. So little differences, but they're interesting differences in terms of the electrical and how the heater will function. And then the other minor little thing that I can do on a 24 that I can't do on the larger sizes is I can adjust the flame speed here. So I can make those flames faster or slower depending on my preference, and that's not something I can do on the larger sizes of the Revillusion. So some interesting differences between the smallest of the Revillusions, the RBF24, and all of the other larger sizes in the series. And you can find Revillusion from Dimplex at stylishfireplaces.ca.